All right, guys, so we're back at it again. We're back at our lair, you know, at our dungeon. So we got a sneak peek for you guys after the video, man. So stick to the end. All right, guys, another secret shout goes out to
Marble Joe 67.
He's been very active as well, man. Always leaving positive comments. So thank you, man. We like interacting with you guys. Keep it up.
Yeah, guys. In order for you guys to get the secret shout out, or just to get the shout out in general, you gotta leave a comment on here, man. So whether you have a channel that you upload videos or you just have a channel to watch videos, leave us a comment. That way we can look out and give you guys a shout out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm good.
All right, guys, we're back in our original our lair, if you could call it that.
A lair.
We got a good video for you guys. Today's video is basically gonna be for all the comic books that we have on our pull list that we're reading or currently reading from this Wednesday.
Yeah, from March 20th. So guys, you know, there's no hiding it. We have not been reading the modern books. We stopped reading for a good while. We were chasing the Silver Age books, but you know, we're comic book store owners now, and we're trying to get familiar with the books themselves. And what I did is I kind of started going and started pulling some books. I'm doing my research, you know, myself, and of course with Chino's help. And you know, we're going at this kind of fresh, kind of new. So we're gonna show you guys what we picked up. Of course, you know, most of it came from our store, but I'll be honest with you guys. Some of these books, you know, we didn't have on our shelves. So I had to go out and buy them from another comic book store, which I'm all about supporting comic book stores, man. I mean, I've done it before, we've done it in the past, you know, and if we need to, we're gonna keep doing that because, you know, it's something we're very passionate about.
Yeah, you know, it's all about collecting, man. So to me, it doesn't matter where you go and find a book that you're looking for. If your store doesn't have it, which, you know, we didn't have it.
Yeah.
We went out there and we got it because, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we don't want to miss out. And a lot of these new books, man, it's kind of crazy, man, because some of them can come out and then sell out, and then the next day they're worth, you know, double or triple what they are. So if you miss out, you kind of miss out on paying the regular price. So
yeah, so this is gonna be a new video format for us guys too. I mean, we're gonna start doing something new, which is the new comic books. I'm gonna show you guys, you know, maybe some spec books that I picked up, you know, and of course, you know, whatever I pick up, I usually pick up for Chino, you know, because our schedules are pretty busy. Sometimes he'll do it for me, sometimes I'll do it. It's just whoever's available to do it, and that's how this team works. I mean, it's a duel. You know, whenever I can't do it, he steps up. When he can't do it, I step up.
I don't know, man. This guy's gonna send me to Dallas every Tuesday, and every Tuesday we receive our delivery. So I think he does it on purpose.
It's Christmas, man. Every Tuesday is Christmas. I get to open boxes, and I mean, it's like an unboxing of the ultimate unboxings. So what we'll do, guys, is we'll show off the books. Here we go. All right, guys, movie magic, gotta love it. So, all right, guys, some of these books, I picked them up. Some I haven't read, some I have read. Some, you know, I took a gamble on them, whatever the case is. Some of them are spec books, you could say, or whatever the case is. But this is what comic book day is all about. It's about picking up new books. It's about seeing what's on the shelves and just sometimes taking a risk because maybe you just want to read something different, or maybe just a cover catch your attention. Yeah,
sometimes it's just the art, man, the art behind the cover. So if it's a cool looking, you know, cover, then, you know, that's the whole point of this display casing, man, is you go out there and you see a cover and you're like, oh man, that's not on my list, but this cover looks really cool, and you just buy it.
Yeah, and that's one thing I do like, guys. I love choices. So variants and stuff like that, I think it's pretty awesome. And that's just my opinion.
All right, so we'll start with the very first one.
Or Lazarus Rising, #1. Right off the bat, guys, I mean, I'm not familiar with the story itself, but when I went to go pick up some books, we didn't have this in our store. And this one just popped. I don't know if it's gonna be a good read. I have not read it, guys, but this is what I plan to pick up, read. If I like it, I'm gonna keep going with it.
Yeah, and again, you know, so Manny goes out there and we double up on everything. So you guys know, so he's usually picking up something, or vice versa. If I'm picking up something and I like it, we'll buy it for each other.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, he'll pay me. I hope.
Nope.
All right, guys, so that was the first book I picked up. All right, guys, the next book I picked up, not gonna lie to you guys, I was late to the game, but I've heard good things about this book, but the cover, it got me. Venom #12. variant.
I'm sure he read this one already.
I haven't read it, guys, but I do plan to go back and kind of pick up from number 1 so I can catch up on number 12 because this art, this cover is sick.
Yeah, and you're not too far out with being number 12. I went back and I read The Immortal Hulk. And
yeah.
So, I mean, this is a good one to kind of catch up and retract.
Yeah, guys. So, again, this here was a cover buy. Nothing against that, in my opinion. I love covers. I mean, again, that's the very first thing I see sometimes. And if I like it, if I dig it, I'll buy it just for the art. So, got a cover for myself and one for Chino. Again, he's lucky because apparently this cover is pretty hot.
I hope you got the better copy for me.
All right, the next book I have is Black Hammer 45, number 1. Again, this is a book I have not read, but I plan to read. Here's the thing, it's a number 1. I don't know, and I just like the cover. I like the green. I like the whole setup of the cover. This is just really it's just a random buy on my case. I don't know if it's gonna be any good. I don't know if there's any speculation behind this book. I wouldn't know. But again, when I go out there and I'm looking for books, if I see something that just catches my eye, I'm gonna pick it up, especially when it's a number 1. Yeah,
and it's funny. I saw this one when Manny brought it, and I looked at it. I just thought it was an old Silver Age book because it looks dirty, and then it looks like there's a crease down here. And when I saw it, I'm like, dude, this came out on like New Comic Book Day. He's like, yeah, dude. They kind of gave it that worn look.
And here's the thing, guys. Honestly, this book didn't come out last Wednesday. I think it's been out for maybe a few weeks or whatever the case is. So it technically didn't pop up on the last batch, which is March 20th.
Yeah.
But still, it's a number 1. I figured I'd take a risk. And, you know, Chino does make a good point. The book does look like it's beat up or whatever the case is. But honestly, that's what I like to buy. That's what stood out to me.
Yeah, man, and I thought we were, you know, when I saw it, I'm like, dude, I thought we were taking a break from like Silver Age books.
So, you know, I got them. Here's the next book I picked up, guys. And this book, honestly, is being getting a lot of traction. And I went to the comic book store again. Actually, this one was already on our shelf, so I kind of lucked out.
Yeah.
But this is Avengers No Road Home number 6.
And I think this is a first appearance, right?
I think it's a Return of the Void or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Again, it's up to number 6. I can catch up on this one, which is pretty cool. I do plan to catch up on it because I've heard some good things. My boy Thoro said it's a good read. I mean, again, you know, positive information from the community always helps out. And you know, we're trying to pick your guys' brains because we've been out this game for a while. The new books, we haven't been reading this stuff. So for us to kind of hear your perspective, you know, now I'm interested and I want to read this stuff. Now, this one I did have at the store, at our comic book store. This is the one I picked up at another comic book store, which is the variant. Now, that's pretty cool, in my opinion.
Yeah, and me and Manny are big fans of variants, man. To be honest with you, the really cool thing about it is that as we're picking out the books that are coming out, which, you know, now that it's kind of transitioning over to our orders.
Yeah.
We picked some really cool variants, man, just because of the art or because of whoever was doing the cover. So
yeah, you know, different artists, whatever the case is, they're very known and they have a really good reputation. And a lot of people just, you know, there's people that collect artists. There's people that collect, you know, the story itself. There's people that collect Silver Age, whatever the case is. But people collect for whatever reason. And yeah, I've been talking to Chino. Me and him have been trying to figure out how to go at this. And I told him, look, man, these covers, I think they're dope. What do you think? If we both give them a thumbs up, we're gonna get them.
Yeah, and I mean, like just this past weekend, man, I had a lot of guys out there from the YouTube community out there in Chicago, man, and they were out there just, you know, really to get signatures from comic book artists.
Yeah.
To get photo ops or photos with them, and you know, I think there was Art Germ out there.
Yeah.
You know, he's a good
Discover Bay. I saw you, man.
I saw you, man. I hope you got some sticks for us, bro. But So it's cool, man, because you get to really pick up these books. And again, man, if you're a fan of the artist, then obviously you can get them to, you know, sign your book. So it makes sense. And it makes sense that some people are just kind of following, you know, the art, you know, the story behind it. So it's cool, man. It's cool picking up the variants.
Yeah. So this is really, really cool cover. Now, the next book I picked up is Naomi number 3. This here has been a book that honestly has been heating up. There's a lot of positive, like a lot of talk on this book. The cool thing is that I have number 1, number 2 coming to me. So I have number 3. I'm pretty, you know, I'm good there. Can't wait to get my number 1, number 2 so I can read this because I've been hearing nothing but positive stuff about this book.
Yeah, and if someone's reading it, leave a comment on it, man. Again, you know, So many books come out, man, and we're busy, guys. Like, I mean, don't think we don't want to sit there and read these books, man. I'm trying to make time for it. The day that I read The Immortal Hulk, man, literally, like, I didn't even work out that night. I just started reading. I mean, you can still see the gains, but I was picking up all those comic books and just like reading them. But no, that day, man, I was gonna work out, and then I was like, you know what? Let me start off and let me get to a stopping point, and it just kind of screwed it up. Not in a bad way, but I just couldn't put it down, man. And I got caught up. So
that's a good read, man. When you can't put down a book and it really grabs you that way, it's a heck of a book. This book here is a spec book, honestly. Everyone knows about this one. This is Dark Red #1. I read it. It's pretty interesting. I think I dig the art. It's pretty cool. The final scene at the end was pretty interesting. That's what kind of caught my attention. So I am interested to keep reading this book. I want to see what happens in #2. It didn't blow me away, but I can see the perspective on why this is considered a spec book. I can see, you know, it's a vampire story. So again, typically vampires, zombies, they usually get picked up for shows or something like that. So, you know, I can see them doing something with this. I just hope that 2, 3, 4, and so on, you know, are really good reads, because if they can build off of this #1, then there's a future for this book.
Yeah, and something like that, man, something that deals with like vampires and zombies, man. That's so Manny, man. That's my genre, man. I like The Walking Dead, man. I've been collecting those guys, and anything that has to do with, you know, zombies and vampires, it's pretty cool, man. And like Manny said, man, they usually adapt these in TV shows. Yeah. So I haven't read it. I'll read it. Manny, he doesn't like reading this stuff because he's actually scared of vampires, guys. So, you know, he's scared of scary movies and whatnot.
I'm not afraid of anything.
All right, man. Let's go to the next one.
Now, and the last book I picked up, of course, guys, it's a Spider-Man, #1, City at War. Of course I picked up this book.
And actually, he bought everything from our shelf, man.
No, I actually did a cool thing, guys. I didn't pick up anything from our shelf because we had a limited amount, and they flew out the shelves. Honestly, things didn't even last. So I actually picked this up at a different comic book store, picked up a comic for myself, picked up a comic for CHINO. I even picked up a comic book for my nephew because he's a big Spider-Man fan. With this one, I tied it up and I ended up getting the Funko Pops. And to me, this is cool, guys. I mean, you know, sometimes I like to do this kind of stuff. I like to pick up a book and tie it in with something, whether it be a statue, an action figure, and in this case, I used 2 different Pops, Mr. Negative and, of course, Spider-Man. Now, this is based on the actual video game. I read this one. It's really the first book I read because it's Spider-Man, of course.
Go bigger.
This one here is actually a pretty good read, guys. I liked it. I'm familiar with the game, so it wasn't too much of a change. There was a few maybe added scenes, whatever the case is, but I am interested to see what they do with #2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, because I feel like they can kind of build into this book and they can give it some more subplots, whatever the case is. So this is a cool pickup. Got my Funko Pops. For me, this is a triple score.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you guys. The game, I bought it as well.
Yeah.
I think I'm like, if you guys played the game, I'm like right there where Mary Jane and she's in the art gallery. So I'm like very early on.
He's very early on.
So and I haven't had time to play it, man. Yeah. I got even the Resident Evil game. I haven't played that, but what's cool about it is that Manny was telling me that I guess this guy here, this is the villain, right? The main villain?
Yeah, Mr. Negative is a villain. Now, his first appearance is in really an Amazing Spider-Man book, which I have. I just forgot the number, whatever the case is, but I do have that book. Now, I don't know if they're going to do anything with him, you know, maybe in the big screen, but I just think it's pretty cool to have the Funko Pop, the first appearance, the #1 of the new storyline with the new Spider-Man. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, you're not gambling much, man. On speculation side, this is a different universe from what I'm being told. Manny knows more about it.
Yeah.
Again, new villains. I think this guy, they did a good job in the game with them.
Yeah.
So again, man, I mean, you guys don't like Pops. I wasn't a fan of Pops because they just come out with so many of them. But now that we're back into the comic book game, the new comic books, man, it's cool to buy the Pops that go with these books. And look at it this way, man. It stands out, man. So I mean, you know, if you can pick up the Pops and the book, man, and just kind of have your own little setup. I don't know what you guys have at home or in your dungeons or, you know, wherever you
your lair.
Your lairs, you know. I mean, this setup looks cool, man. You know, having this or having some signed Funkos too, man. I mean, I know Manny got this one because we can get the signatures on basically these from our guys.
I don't know about this guy, but for sure on the Spider-Man.
So it just made sense to buy the Funkos for it.
Yeah, guys, and with that, that's our first comic book pickup of the week. From now on, we're gonna keep doing this. Hopefully, I can get more books, stack up more books. Plan to read all these books. I need to complete them because I'm a person that likes to complete my runs. So for sure, I need to pick up the number 1s, 2s, 3s, and so on for some of these books. That's the plan. I gotta do it for myself. I gotta do it for Chino because he won't do it. We're out. Where's this guy at? Always late, man. There you go.
All right, man. I got him for the Captain Marvel review, right?
Yeah, we're doing the movie review.
Okay, I got it. Yeah.